Welcome, sports fans. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of WNBA attendance and TV ratings, and the results might just blow your mind. The headlines have been dominated by two names, Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese. You'd think from all the media buzz that arenas are overflowing to catch both these stars in action. But when we break down the numbers, the reality tells a very different story. Let's unravel the truth behind the hype, the stats, and the real fan draw between these two athletes. Because one thing is clear, Caitlyn Clark is making history, and Angel Reese might just be riding the coattails of media hype. First, let's start with the ratings war. In an absolutely stunning showdown last week, Caitlyn Clark's Indiana Fever took on the daunting challenge of competing against the NFL's biggest stage, a match between the Philadelphia Eagles and Green Bay Packers, no less. These two teams are NFL royalty, with fan bases that stretch across the globe. The NFL game was broadcast live from Brazil, raking in a massive 14 million viewers on Peacock. It's no surprise, everyone was watching. But here's where things get incredible. While the NFL dominated as expected, Caitlyn Clark still managed to pull in over 1.26 million viewers for her WNBA game, despite competing in the same time slot. That's right, 1.26 million. In fact, her game peaked at an impressive 1.52 million viewers. This marks the 22nd WNBA telecast to surpass 1 million viewers this season. And guess what? Caitlyn Clark was a part of 19 of those games. That's no coincidence. All eyes are on Caitlyn. And if that wasn't enough, this broadcast shattered a 20-year record for WNBA games that air opposite NFL matchups. You'd have to go back to 2003, during the WNBA Finals, to find a game that came even close to these numbers. Back then, the WNBA Finals were pulling in a similar audience, but on ABC, a free, nationally available network. Now, Caitlyn Clark is achieving similar ratings on ION, a cable network that's not even in every home. When you take a step back, this is nothing short of remarkable. Now let's talk about something just as important as TV ratings: attendance. After all, filling seats in arenas is a clear indicator of fan interest, and right now, Caitlyn Clark is making waves in this area too. Through September 8th, we've got the attendance numbers, and the contrast between Clark and Reese couldn't be more telling. The Indiana Fever, led by Caitlyn Clark, saw not just packed houses but sold-out games. 3 straight sellouts. In fact, on September 4th, 6th, and 8th, the Fever averaged a whopping 17,000+ fans per game. These aren't playoff games, mind you. These are regular season matchups, yet the arena is filled to capacity with feverish fans, pun intended, clamoring to witness Clark's on-court magic. The Fever's attendance has skyrocketed by an incredible 37.8% from last season, and it's clear why. Caitlyn Clark's star power is undeniable. The Indiana Fever have become a must-see team in the WNBA, and arenas across the country are paying attention. Contrast that with Angel Reese's Chicago Sky. The media has consistently hyped Reese as a massive draw, yet when you look at the numbers, the picture isn't nearly as rosy. The Chicago Sky saw their attendance rise by a measly 1,570 fans per game. That's it, 1,570. While Caitlyn Clark's Indiana Fever is packing arenas with an additional 12,000+ fans per game, Reese's draw is barely noticeable. To put it in perspective, some high school basketball teams can fill stands with more than 1,500 people. For a player as heavily marketed as Angel Reese, these numbers are frankly embarrassing. So what's going on here? Why does Angel Reese, who's been hyped to the heavens, struggle to bring fans through the gates? The media has been quick to link Reese with Caitlyn Clark as the WNBA's rising stars. They've consistently lumped their names together, as if both players are equally responsible for the league's newfound attention. But the reality is, Reese isn't anywhere near Clark's level when it comes to captivating a national audience. Let's break down the overall WNBA attendance numbers for this season. League-wide, attendance is up by 48.2% from 2023, making it the third highest season in WNBA history. The last time the league saw this kind of interest was back in 1998 and 1999, when teams averaged around 10,000 fans per game. But if you look closer at the team-by-team breakdown, the growth is far from evenly distributed. The Indiana Fever, as mentioned earlier, have exploded in popularity, thanks to Clark. On the other hand, the Chicago Sky? Not so much. What's even more telling is that there are 8 other WNBA teams whose attendance growth outpaces the Chicago Sky's, further diminishing Angel Reese's supposed star power. Even teams like the Atlanta Dream, with a much smaller fan base, are seeing larger gains. This raises an uncomfortable question for those who've been pushing Reese as the next big thing. Where are her fans? Here's what we know for sure. Clark is the real driving force behind the WNBA's resurgence in popularity. Whether it's TV ratings or packed arenas, Clark is the one generating buzz, not just in Indiana but across the league. The Fever have sold out multiple games and have one of the highest attendance growth rates in the league. Clark's presence is so magnetic that when her team plays away games, attendance spikes there too. Teams are even moving their games to larger venues when the Fever comes to town because they know they'll attract thousands of additional fans, many of whom are coming just to see her. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's numbers simply don't match the hype. Chicago isn't relocating to larger venues for her games, nor are they seeing the same kind of ticket demand. Despite the media's insistence on her star power, the reality is that fans aren't showing up in droves to watch Reese in the same way they are for Clark. Caitlyn Clark is the one rewriting the narrative for the WNBA. Her games consistently draw the highest TV ratings, her team is selling out arenas, and she's leading the league in almost every fan engagement metric that matters. If the WNBA is in a new era of growth, it's Caitlyn Clark's name that will be etched into the history books as the player who made it happen. So, what does this mean for the future of the WNBA? Will Angel Reese rise to the occasion and close the gap between her and Clark? Or will Caitlyn Clark continue to dominate the spotlight as she builds what looks to be a Hall of Fame career? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Right now, Clark is the one capturing hearts, minds, and wallets. If you're as blown away by these numbers as I am, it's time to ask the question, who's really driving the WNBA's success? Is it the media darling Angel Reese, or is Caitlyn Clark the true face of the league? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think about these wild attendance and TV stats. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the real stories behind the headlines. Stay tuned for more updates on the WNBA, NFL, NBA, and everything else that's shaking up the world of sports. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep it real, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.